The opening envelope now. Raymond Warner. Raymond, the chair of the. Oh, you're gonna come up? Yeah. He's the chair of the Wayne County group, and he's been active in the party almost as long as I have, and he's more than anybody else in the room, and he really deserved this. And he works really hard in Wayne County. He's easygoing.
Yeah.
He also works hard in trying to have a libertarian booth at Pride Fest, which is actually in Oakland County in Ferndale, but he's sponsored a lot of times himself. So, without further ado, Ray Warner.
That's terrific.
I really wanted this. It's been 50 years in politics and 40 years with the Libertarian Party. I have a lot of stories that I could tell, but if you want to hear them, you have to come to the Wayne County dinner first Thursday of the month at Tijuana's Mexican Kitchen.
Tijuana's, yeah.
But, when I was reminiscing about stuff tonight, I thought about what was my greatest victory. And it was 1970 here in Detroit. The American Psychiatric Association was having its annual convention. And I led a group of demonstrators that stormed the stage and demanded an end to the classification of homosexuality as a mental illness. A year later, they did it, and that created a cascade effect that affects all of us today. Thank you all very much.
Our next award is for a promoter of liberty. If I could get Kim McCurdy up here, that would be great.
The winner of the promoter for liberty is actually one of our youngest members. He has been very active on his own for the last 2 years without any help from the Libertarian Party. He has been working to gather a group in the northern Michigan where we can't reach much. He was planning on being here. His ride came down with the flu. He is Bradley Hunt. He is running our Facebook page. And he tries to work on getting messages out to where people can think without being offended. Sometimes we still have to work around that. We're libertarians, we're not perfect. And he really was honored because he's never even left Alpena. He was so excited about coming down here tonight. And he had never been nominated for anything like this. And above that, being one of our youngest people working 2 jobs just to pay his bills and everything, he pledged $5 a month. Nobody in this party right now is well, thanks to him I'm a pledge now, but before that, nobody else has been a pledge, paying a monthly pledge for over a year. And then he started doing it. If the youngest member of our party can do that, we should all think about doing that.
And then lastly, we have our spokesperson for liberty. If I get Scotty Bowman up here.
Hello. I nominate Glenn Wilson for the Spokesperson for Liberty Award. This award is intended for a member of the community whose patriotism and conviction have inspired contributions to the cause of liberty. Over the past few years, Glenn has made his regional television network, M33 TV, available to libertarians and other advocates of liberty and limited government. One source of his interest in broadcasting came from his disgust with the statist bias of the mainstream media. Most recently, he has run public service announcements, PSAs, created by the Libertarian Party of Michigan, thereby providing an avenue whereby the Libertarian Party of Michigan name and libertarian ideas are transmitted over broadcast television in the northern Lower Peninsula. He has done this at no cost, but only at no cost to us, but only out of his love for liberty. But the PSAs are only the most recent example of how he has helped us broadcast the libertarian message. In 2012, he devoted his life, treasure, and sacred honor to a national TV show focused on liberty. The show, called Liberty Town Hall, targeted a conservative audience and frequently featured libertarians and provided fair coverage of the libertarian alternative to the major parties. Among those featured was Libertarian United States candidate Scotty Bowman. The show was hosted by Glenn and well-known Northern Michigan talk show host Greg Marshall. The program was broadcast on 230 stations. This labor of love cost Glenn dearly, and it is on hiatus until he can find advertisers to revive it. In 2014 cycle, he offered reasonable advertising rates for political candidates. While this is available to all candidates, it was especially valuable to libertarian candidates since they often lack the budget for other networks. Gubernatorial candidate Mary Bazuma and I decided to run TV commercials on M33 without really knowing what to expect. All she knew was that the rates on M33 were more reasonable than those in the overpriced Southeast Michigan markets, and she had produced some commercials that she felt the voters needed to see. While she didn't win the election, her commercials definitely paid off. Her statewide average was barely over 1%, but her vote totals in the M33 TV viewing area averaged over 1.5%. In other words, her commercials improved her vote totals by about 50%. Glenn is a true asset to the cause of liberty and definitely deserving of the Spokesperson for Liberty Award.
Thank you. This is really nice. I had no idea I was even nominated or would possibly win an award. I didn't do it for an award. I want to take a moment and tell you why this has all happened in my life. I run a business just to try to help a community bring broadband services to a rural area. And the government kept encroaching on my business, one thing after another, after another. Then when Obama got elected, he decided to do a stimulus package. $7.2 billion with a big B. He's going to give away as welfare to provide broadband to these rural areas. Now, I've been doing this for quite a while up in my area, and I've saved our local school districts millions of dollars over the government way of doing things. And so they're going to do this, they're going to give this money away. I got to do something about it. So there's options in there. Apply for a loan, like a small business loan, with a decent interest rate, but at least the taxpayers would get their money back. Or B, take a grant. If you take a grant, well, they can't give away as much money that way. They can leverage money if you get loans, so you'll score higher for a loan. Well, a loan works with my morals. I shouldn't take money from somebody unwillingly and put it in my pocket, so I'll apply for a loan. To spend $300,000 for grant writers, engineers, accountants, and whatnot to put this package together. And they come back and said, if you'd have taken a grant, we'd have given it to you, Glenn. But instead, they give a grant to a company called Merit, and it cost me $50,000 a month, and I lost all my schools that I built $1 million+ network for. Darn near put me out of business. So I said, this is just gone too far. With all the taxes I see at every level, from being a telephone company, from just all the aspects of my business, I see the encroachment of government, from the FAA to the FCC to, alphabet soup. And so I ran for U.S. Congress. I didn't do it as a party candidate. I did it as an independent to represent the people. And that concept was rather appalling to the Republicans and Democrats. So they both attacked me, which made me feel good. I must be doing something right. I'm getting them both upset. Now, the thing I noticed in that was just how corrupt the government process of election really is. Not only is the media biased to the two-party system as a whole, and even more favored to the liberal side of things. But tell me how I can get 12% vote in one district and the neighboring district not one single vote. Something's tilt. You can't prove it, you can't do nothing about it, but I know my brother lived there. So, you know, I find that really hard to believe, you know, that I have family and close friends in that district that swear up and down they voted for me and they don't get why it shows 0. So it really told me a lot of things. One, our voting electorate is sheeple. They're not out there being patriots or Americans voting on what's best for America. They're out there doing the group model, okay? They want to be a part of the winning team. You cannot count how many times I heard, well, if I vote for you, then the Democrats will win. Or if I vote for you, the Republicans will win. I said, how about the people here win for once, you know? I don't want the job. I'm doing it because I've experienced enough government to make me sick. And I see what you're not seeing. You know, like the Federal Reserve. People think the Federal Reserve's government. Well, where's the audit the Fed sign come from? And so it showed me the ignorance. And the only way I could get, in my mind, around comprehend or battling the ignorance was broadcast media. There's no other way to reach the sheeple than a television ad. There's no more powerful way. You know, you have online, Facebook, and things like that. But those are people you got. But when you got them watching a movie and you can interject, hey, by the way, this is important, you might want to know about it, that's when you can reach people they're outside of your group. And so for that reason, I bought broadcast TV licenses, and now we have 14 TV channels that we broadcast. And as soon as I can buy more repeaters, which are not cheap, I now have the content licensing to cover most all of northern Michigan and part of the UP. And I'm making this network available for educational purposes. I will not charge a dime to educate the people. So what Scotty's calling PSAs, public service announcements, we desperately need. Now what I'm weak at is shaping that message. Dr. Butters knows what the people need. Somebody needs to give me an ad that we can run between now and election time, one after another, step by step, walking the sheeple into becoming voters, not educated with morals. You know what I mean? Somewhere along the line, I cannot do it alone. I need your help. I mean, it's that simple. And I have to follow the rules. These are government broadcast licenses for the airwaves, so they've got a ton of rules. What I can and cannot do, what I can charge you for an ad versus what I can charge you for an ad. But you start looking at the fine print rules and you realize all the different ways that the media so far has manipulated those rules to twist to their cause. So I thought, all right, let's find the rules, let's figure this out. You know, there's deals that you can put in place that supersede a certain time frame. Okay, I'm supposed to offer an ad for the same price to the Libertarian Party or to the Republican Party or the Democrats or the Green Party at the same price for the same time period. Except when they purchased the ad, makes a difference. You see, because if I sell you an ad today for the 2016 campaign, I can sell it to you for $1. I can sell it to you for $1. And then when the Republicans or the Democrats show up, well, look at last minute, you're buying, oh, that's great, it's, you know, $500 an ad, have a good day. You know, that kind of gives us a little bit of an advantage because we're planning ahead. Okay, so there's things I can and cannot do. But I honestly built these TV stations to serve the people of this country, the liberties that my founding brothers have helped form. Yes?
So where are they broadcasted and how can we get more information?
About here to about here.
Okay.
Let's see, yeah, that'd be right, yeah. I got it left hand, right hand.
Livingston County?
No.
From about,
Midland North.
yeah, Midland North. About Midland North is a good chunk.
Are they rebroadcasted anywhere?
As soon as I get the repeaters, I can
Okay, so
I
as
can
soon as
daisy
you get
change
the
this.
repeaters, the Jeff Wood campaign will
You might want to look at the map now, you'd be amazed.
Are you on cable?
On cable,
Your
I'm
camera
also,
manager said
I'm setting the channels up to be streamed on Roku. A lot more people are going to the
Okay.
online versions as well.
Okay.
And then I can reach even more. There's a little bit of rules about content, you know, like a CBS station, you got TV5 or 9 and 10, right? So they got their districts, so I'm confined with the content going to districts. But like my TV show that we can develop in our studio, Liberty Town Hall, that we can run anywhere. I've got, actually now I have over 1,700 stations that I can run the show on if I had a way to produce it. I just couldn't carry the bill alone any longer. But we have the studio, I'll produce the stuff, I just don't have the funds. You guys may be able to go out there and find it. If you do, I want it back then. I'll give you guys the show free. Put your own show on, call it the Libertarian Party Show. I'll air it, I'll get it aired nationally. But if we don't do something to educate the sheeple, this is a losing battle. It really is. In the election process for congressional seats, I can tell you how bad it is. And it's just a matter of getting the people to understand they're being lied to constantly. You know, I talk to school teachers, they don't even know that the Federal Reserve's private. They had no idea the money they had was a private check. So if that's our educators, it tells you how bad the regular citizens are. So I ask you, please take advantage of the power that we now have with broadcast media and find a way to get education done. And I thank you very much for this award.
Thank you to all of our award winners, and thank you, Andrew, for organizing all of that. Nearly done here. I have a kind of a golden rule that I believe in terms of running these. Everybody have fun tonight? Yeah. Good. And you know, the only way these things happen is, you know, we have to have an infrastructure. We have to have a party. Kim talked earlier about some of the goals of the party, and I don't want tonight to be any kind of a hard sell, but I'm going to do it because I always do it, because that's my style. If you have the means and would like to help Kim with some of her goals, I have a little red box over there where I asked you to put your name
Not
tags.
just me, some of these ideas came from.
Understood. And you want to